Hi, dancers. I sure do miss you guys. I wanted to have an opportunity to connect with you guys, and I thought that one thing that I could do was start reading to you some of my favorite dance stories. So tonight, I am going to be reading a story called Dancing in the Wings by Debbie Allen. Now, Debbie Allen, for those of you who don't know, is a professional dancer and choreographer. She was in the movie Fame. She has done all kinds of choreography. And in fact, just this afternoon at 4 o'clock, she did a live dance class on Instagram Live. And she's going to be doing another one on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And so I think that means it would be, let's see, I think it's 3 hours. So 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock our time. So you might want to tune in on Instagram at The Real W. Allen on Instagram. So let's get started with our story. Dancing in the Wings. Ever since I was born and could see, everywhere I looked, I saw a dance. In the clouds as the wind blew them across the sky, in the ripples on a pond, even in the sea of ants marching up and down their hills. Dance was all around me. Dance was me. My mom calls me sassy because I like to put my hands on my hips and because I always have something to say. Well, if you had feet as big as mine, you would understand why. You should join the swimming team since you got those long toes and don't need any fins, my older brother Huey teased. I shot right back. At least I don't have that big forehead looking like a street lamp. Mama said, "Stop all that bad talk. You act so ugly sometimes. Huey, your big head is a sign of intelligence. And Sassy, your big feet will make your legs look longer and prettier in your ballet shoes." You see Mama talking to Huey and Sassy? Look at Mama has her hands on her hips too. I wonder if that's where Sassy gets it from. My legs were longer, all right. So long that when I went to tendu, or point my toe, at the bar, I tripped Miss Catherine, our teacher, who was coming down the line, looking the other way. Splat! She landed under the piano. Her legs were up in the air. Ooh, it was so funny. Even she had to laugh. "Sassy," she called out, "I'm going to tie orange bows on those big feet." "Sorry, Miss Catherine," I answered, "but if you don't wear your glasses, you won't see them." One thing for sure, because of my long legs and big feet, I could jump higher and spin faster than anyone else. Do you see all the children at the bar? Look there's Miss Catherine on the floor under the piano. I was taller than the rest of the kids at school, even the boys. At our recitals, all the other girls got to dance solos and duets and wear pretty tutus. I was too big for the boys to pick up and too tall to be in line with the other girls. So I watched from backstage, dancing in the wings, hoping that if I just kept dancing and trying, it would be my turn to dance in the spotlight. Can you see Sassy back there behind the curtain? And she's watching the other girls dance. Did you know that when you stand on the side of the stage, those are called the wings? That's where you wait with Miss Holly before it's time to go on the stage to dance. One day, at the end of ballet class, Miss Catherine announced, "Mr. Debato from the Russian school is coming next week to look for talented young people for the Summer Dance Festival in Washington, D.C. The whole room turned into a whirlpool of excitement as the sign-up sheet was posted. Everyone wanted to try, especially me. But as I wrote my name down, I heard two girls, Molly and Mona, giggle. Mona said, "Oh, please, she'll never make it." They said talent, not a Tyrannosaurus. My heart seemed to stand still. For once, I had nothing to say. I couldn't hide the tears I felt welling up in my eyes, so I just grabbed my dance bag and ran to the parking lot. See Sassy signing up? Look at how tall she is. She's beautiful. I heard a familiar horn honk and turned to see my Uncle Red in his bright green pickup truck. Uncle Red had the whitest, tight, curly hair, smelled of cigars, and every day wore something red. A tie, a hat, a shirt, socks, maybe even his shoestrings. Just something red. Why, of all days, did Mama have to send him to pick me up? Why today? I was not in the mood for his jokes or stories, but I quickly tried to dry my eyes and smile. I got a good one for you today, Sassy. What did the banana say to the monkey? Split! Ha ha! Get it? Split! Banana split! I started to cry. Sassy, what's wrong? I told him what had happened. I'm just so much taller than the other dancers, Uncle Red. Sassy, he said, you got to look at this as a gift. Being tall means you can see all around, so you can always find the right path. No, I said, it means I stick out like a big acne bump on someone's nose. I'll never get to dance. It's a waste of time to go to that audition. Listen, gal, said Uncle Red, if I was as tall and pretty as you, I wouldn't need to wear red so people know it's me coming and going. All you gotta do is make your mark on the world, is walk into the room. By the time I got home, Uncle Red had cheered me up, had me laughing and feeling better. As I got out of his truck, he waved goodbye, calling out, "Make your mark, gal." Huey and his football friends stopped playing. Huey yelled, "Hey, Sassy, why don't you come and play with us? We need a goal post." His little mean, ugly friends laughed. Boy, did that make me mad. "Sure, if we can use your big head for the ball," I shouted back. His friends screamed with laughter. Huey got so mad, he turned red looking like a tomato with his big head. Ha! We were just about to go at each other when Mama called us inside. Late that night, I lay awake staring out my window and thinking about Uncle Red's words. I could see myself dancing in the Milky Way, swirling like a twinkling shooting star. Next thing I knew, I was talking to myself out loud. I'm going to that audition, big feet and all. Look at how Sassy saw herself dancing. On the day of the tryout, kids came from all over the city. It was so crowded, everyone was expected to wear black. But like Uncle Red, I picked out my own color, bright yellow. And instead of standing in the back, I squeezed between Molly and Mona, right in the front row. I ignored their snickering. Miss Catherine came in and introduced Mr. DeBato. Everyone applauded. Boy, was he short. Couldn't have been more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. He started walking down the rows, pacing back and forth, just looking at us. Then he stopped right in front of me and said, "Young lady, why are you wearing that loud yellow leotard? I'll need to put on sunglasses to see anybody else. Please go to the back row." Molly whispered, "See ya, wouldn't wanna be ya." At least he noticed me, I snapped. I put my hands on my hips and walked to the back. The first round of the audition was center floor exercises. Mr. DeBato walked around, prodding and poking, making corrections. He stopped once and looked right at me, but didn't say a thing. I held my breath as he dismissed almost half of the kids after the first round, but not me. Do you see Sassy right here? And there's Mr. DeBato. Next was the Adagio, the slow section. I stood as close to Mona as I could get and whispered, "Your little skinny short legs are going to look like chicken wings next to mine." "I'd rather look like a chicken than a turkey like you with that long neck," she answered. "Talk to the hand," I told her. I took my leg up so high it got stuck. Luckily, I could balance on my other big foot, so I just held it until Mr. DeBato remarked, "Young lady, the exercise is finished." "Oh," I jumped out of position. "Show off," Molly grunted. "Gobble, gobble," Mona imitated a turkey. Look at her beautiful arabesque. See how her back is still up and her leg is so straight? Then came the leaps across the floor. I took off like Jackie Joyner Kersee in a long jump at the Olympics. With one leap, I sailed in the air past all the other girls. Molly and Mona watched, looking pea green with envy. When I finished, Mr. DeBato yelled, "Young lady, you must learn to dance to the music. Up on count 1, down on count 3. 3, not 5. You have the rhythm of a troglodyte. Again!" I was crushed. As I passed Mona to get back in line, she said, "Next time, bring your big derriere down by 3. "Your mama," I said. "Ooh, did I wish I was a wizard. I'd turn them into 2 big fat frogs in tutus trying to hip hop." See her leap? By the end of the day, there were only 7 of us left. Mr. DeBato called out everyone's name except mine and asked them to step forward. Oh, look at Sassy. She's feeling very sad. Can you predict what might have happened or what's going to happen next? Let's see. Standing alone, I really had to fight to hold back my tears. Here are all the rest of the dancers. Then I heard him say, "Thank you all for coming today. Keep working, keep trying. You are dismissed." Mr. DeBato said to me, "Sassy, you have a great deal of potential. You have beautiful long arms and legs, but you flail about with no control. You must learn to use your feet better and timing. We have a lot of work to do when you come to Washington this summer. But please, please leave that loud yellow leotard at home. All you need to do to be noticed is walk into the room. Dismissed. And he walked out. Sassy gets to go to Washington. Did you notice that Mr. DeBato said the same thing to Sassy that her Uncle Red did? All she needed to do was walk into the room. Jumping and shouting, I ran to the parking lot. I made it, Mama, I made it. Guess who was there to pick me up? Mama, Uncle Red, Huey, and half of his football team piled in the back of the green truck on their way to a game. Everybody was so proud of me, even Huey. You go, Miss Bigfoot. Thank you, Mr. Bighead, I said, and we all laughed. Look at all of those people were there to cheer her on. Even though they sometimes quarreled with each other or said some things that weren't very kind, they still loved each other and wanted to support each other. 1 month later, Mama and I boarded the plane for Washington, D.C. She held my hand as my heart pounded when we landed. At the school, there were young dancers from Russia, Mexico, France, China, Cuba, Brazil, New York, Texas, and long-legged me from Inglewood, California. In class, the first day, Mr. DeBato introduced me to his 12-year-old protege. A protege is someone who is training to be very, very good at something. A boy named Dwight, who was 5 feet 10 inches tall. Dwight, I think I have found a partner for you. Meet Sassy. Finally, she's found a boy to dance with who is taller than she is. Mama was right. Being tall wasn't so bad after all, and neither was having a big head. By the end of the summer, Huey had won the grand prize at Space Camp in Alabama, and I got to dance a duet with Dwight in the summer concert. When Dwight lifted me high in the air, I felt like I was dancing on the Milky Way. Me and my big feet making my mark on the world. The end. And here she is taking her bow. So dancers, I hope that you enjoyed this book. This was one of my daughter's favorites, one of Olivia's favorites, and she wanted me to read this one first for you. And I hope you know that you are just exactly who you're supposed to be, and you will leave a mark on this world. I miss you all, and I love you. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk again soon.